should be live. We want to make sure everything's lined up first here. Looks good. Does it sound good? Looks good. Does indeed. Sorry about that yawn, but hello people of the internet. It is I, Soulrack Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order, where we will be continuing, or continuing, the event. Looks though that first I have to continue this node. I thought I had finished it, but I guess I didn't. It happens though. It's fine. I've got a very easy clear for this. But yeah, continuing the event. Only a few days left in it. I'm going to do my damnedest to push through. I might have to resort to some apples being used in order to do everything, because I did peek a bit ahead as to requirements, and some of those requirements start to really add up there. So, it's going to be a little tight, but I feel like I can do it. Plus, when push comes to shove, I can just, go in with its squad of essentially full con drop rate increase. Because I have done a bit of shop clearing. And I'll show that here as soon as this run is done. But I have no idea how far I'm going to actually get today, because while I did do a fair bit of farming, I don't know if it's going to be enough. Because the guide I'm following, essentially, it just tells me the requirements. It doesn't tell me what I'll be making. So, yeah, there might be things that I want to make that I don't have the stuff for, But we'll find out. So let's start things off by showing off the shop here. Essentially, I got all the CEs, and I'm working on getting more of the command codes. I'm at these for the 3 stars, and still working on the aboves. But yeah, that's pretty much that. And then if we come here, we got the exchange ticket for more of the Bells of Absolution, and we'll claim the other stars days off. There we go. And claim these fragments. I don't think there's... Not where I wanted to go. April Fools has passed. This is adorable, but unexpected. We have long foe. Many a foes. Okay, that was completely unexpected. But I don't think there's any new banners. Summertime... Oh, because Learning with Manga collab event is going on. That's right. Looks like Morgan's banner is officially gone, and it's now just the Trung Sisters. Okay. Yeah, I guess I can showcase that real quick. There is the FGO and the Learning with Manga and the Learning with Manga collab soon, which I do know will give another Bunyan, but I'm not too worried about that. Anyways, we were going to build a train. So, let us build a train. This is going to cost us 50 cheerful and 30 laudable con. We've got plenty. It's the red con that we have a lot of, though. Look at them working, they're adorable. Making them sleepy. Man, they really did some good work there. I'm liking this. This is very much developing. Incoming communication from the watchtower. We have a VOD making landfall and building a sluice near section 7B. Let's take the train to head out and drive them back. They say some of the con that failed to escape are being eaten too. You 3, come with us. Wow, we get to ride that? I'm super duper ready. Impatient to get going, huh? I don't blame you. Just leave it to me. I've been looking forward to this day for some time myself. Now let's hurry over to the main station. Everything's ready for our departure. We have the special con with us. You know, this train brings back memories of another train I was on recently. Looks so authentic. Not bad, and it seems my fan likes it too. Indeed, I thought this would be more like a minecart than a real train, but I'm happy to be wrong. Impressive, Lionhead. Unfortunately, this is the only car I have for now. Though eventually I hope to upgrade it to a transcontinental railroad. There's not really much of a continent, so yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, please make yourselves comfortable. This is kind of nerve-wracking. Keeping a careful eye on surroundings. Everyone sitting down, let's get our maiden voyage underway. Electrical output stable, power supply is looking good. And rail monitors are all green. Power on, engaging, direct current motor. All aboard! Welcome Viper King, welcome to the stream. I'm just gradually going through the events, just caught me at the start of stream. It says your first time chatter, but I feel like somebody with your name has been through here before. Don't know why, but I have that strangest feeling. But still, welcome to the stream. Anyways, where are we? Oh wow, it's really moving, even though no one is pushing or pulling it. These train things are amazing. Come on, Nee. Relax, there's nothing to worry about. We're all right here with you. It's perfectly safe. Even the con are loving this ride. I pressed there. Thank you. Look at them, they are adorable. Yeah, I know. I think I was given knowledge of these things when I was summoned, but I've still never ridden one before. The only kind of ride we had so far is an elephant, right? This train thing is so much faster. It's hard for me to get used to it. Just relax, you'll be fine. Here's an orange, because we just have orange. Why not? Why not just, here's an orange, sure. Passing out oranges. Oranges definitely calm people down. Okay. Why an orange? They're apparently perfect for traveling, and you're always supposed to... I never knew you... I'm gonna say they're perfect for traveling, because I didn't know that you needed to eat orange on train rides. I've never ridden a train before, so... So you don't even know why yourself? That's weird. But okay, I guess I'll try one. Thanks. Here, sister, we can share it. That's sweet. He followed me from Zahak at one point. I think he said I'd like a character you also enjoy. Top waifu is Mash. Second is Melt. Then would be Jalter, Ereshkigal, Achan. Yeah, those are the top. And Kama. Kama just recently made her way out of the official waifu category. It was Mash. Mash is best girl. Sadly, the faster the train ride, the sooner the fun comes to an end. Not even my peerless genius can do anything about that. On which note, we're here. Please watch your step as you exit the vehicle, and don't forget to collect your belongings. Yeah, Mash is best girl. Her sacrifice at the end of Solomon. It honestly brought tears to my eyes when that happened, and I remember streaming it too. I had to stop for a bit, just because of the feels. This was great, Edison. Your train got them there in no time. Let's see. Oh, over there, by that river. I see Vodyanos building a sluice. Can never pronounce those things. Granted, that's a new word I just learned Friday, so, you know, I hope I'm forgiven for my mispronunciation of something I just learned how to say Friday. First we break the sluice, then we break them. That's perfect. Even a half-built sluice might be making them stronger. Did you really think you could get working at a leisurely pace with me around? She who strikes first wins. Now, crush them. Crush them. Silver fruit. Alright, so up here. Does look like this is going to give some silver currency. And we'll bring Tesla along since he just helped us. Otherwise, this will be our squadron. It's a very nice, relaxing tune for every section start. Fatal battle? Oh no. Okay, what do we got? I honestly do not recall off the top of my head what the heck Edison is capable of. What can you do, Edison? That's not bad. A one-turn skill cooldown. Bleh. As well as a defense boost. Crit stars for 5 turns, MP gauge, and MP strength. That's... I think mass production A+ is worth using. Overcharge by 2, and crit star drop rate for 1 ally. Okay. You're technically Adagartha, but you're usually very lazy when it comes to story. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with taking it easy when it comes to the story. You play these things at your own pace, essentially. I mean, if you don't care for spoilers either, then you don't even need to worry about feeling like you're going too slow. The only exceptions are, like, raid events, and I don't even know when the next raid event is. Hey, Mordred, welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. How be things, how be things. No. Sounds like Agartha. New member to the chat, though. Apparently has been here once before when Zahak has raided me, but beyond that, fairly not new, I would say. I'm gonna go that on Lambda, and then finish off the wooden sluice. See, that's the same thing. I said the exact same thing. When Viper King first said something, I said, your name looks familiar. Why is your name familiar? But it was like their first time chatter, so it's like, am I just crazy? But then again, I am crazy, so, you know. Beep. Bop boop. Don't want to talk about Camelot, but usually forget spoilers over 10 to not remember them to feel better. Agartha's, fairly, relatively speaking, we are getting close to the end of the Lost Belt saga, so still being in the Epic of Remnant could, I guess, be considered fairly new. Yeah, Camelot. Camelot is when I started streaming FGO, actually. Not the initial release, but it was the lead up to Babylonia that I started streaming FGO. That was a interesting time. I finished the Lion King fight just as maintenance hit, but no, I must have finished it just too late, because as soon as the fight ended, I got kicked out of the game because of maintenance, and it didn't count, and I had to redo the Lion King fight. I recall those days with glory. You stalled Camelot in a few other places. That's fair. Camelot can be an issue. I remember that I had to rely on Chloe to get me through Camelot. That is why she is technically my crit queen. She has that nickname, even though I have not used her that much. She is Crit Queen Chloe, because she literally carried me through Camelot as my only archer unit that was worth anything at the time. I can't even remember who else I had, honestly. I know I didn't have Squirtoria. Who was all... Oh, I'm just because of how well she did, I am going for Summer Chloe next year. I honestly don't remember how hard Lobo was. I honestly cannot remember how difficult the Lobo fight was, to be honest. I know I did the Lobo ever since you could say Babylonia, but I would say probably maybe more the Solomon fight. I've been trying to consistently do story events and stuff live. Every new chapter I do live. Yeah, I still want to be able to solo Goetia with Mash. She deserves that revenge, and it will continue the streak that I have of Mash soloing every single beast. I still need Tiamat to come back, and Goetia to be able to be fought by Mash. But no, every time you get the Goetia fight again, Mash is not available. I didn't miss Goetia's last rerun. Took 5 tries, took 2 days and up to 10 tries. Nothing wrong with that, Viper. Nothing wrong with that. Who is your strongest servant, out of curiosity? Do you have anybody grailed up already? Hey, the mist is gone. The Vodyanoi attack must be finally over. We did it. We kept everyone safe. We've never been able to drive them all off before. This is great. The special con. When he said, even when we managed to reclaim parts of the island before, new water monsters would eventually show up and take them back from us. But now it feels like we're finally making some real progress. I couldn't be happier. And we never could have done it without the defense network you built. And then there are all the other incredible things you've built. We've never seen anything like them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Khan are thrilled too. Yep, we couldn't have done it without you two leading the way either. But by the way, Viper, if you do want access to my support, if you type !FC in chat, my friend code shall appear. Eldorado, Berserker of Eldorado, so Penth. Alright, now that it seems like the water monster attack is over, we should prepare to retake the next area before more show up. After taking a little break, of course. And while they're doing that, I need to make some headway on art analysis. A strange mist from across the sea, water monsters from all over the world, and coordinates we still can't determine. Just what and where is this place? The ocean. Da Vinci. The replenishments failed. It seems they weren't enough pathetic. I would have thought they'd fight harder than that, given what they stood to lose. But then I never had any expectations for them, so they could hardly fail to live up to them. Which is also why I have no interest in the leftovers. Who is the big bad behind all this? I'm very curious as to who is the big bad. There may be a far cry, they may be a far cry from that feast, but this should at least be enough to fill someone's stomach. And the last part is Section 9. I do not want to actually get spoiled. I would rather not be spoiled. Hey, J6, welcome to the stream. How'll be things. We are in a forest near the village. Looks like no one's here. Maybe I'll sunbathe a bit. Hail, Dicey, can I come? It's been so long. Hobby things is a no. Or is it a no to being addressed as J6? Would you rather me call you Hydra from now on, or Void, maybe? Or do you want to be alone? No, I didn't come out here to be alone. Besides, I expected you guys would be here. Anyway, sunbathing together does sound nice. But since it's been so long, why don't we do something fun? Come on, I'll show you how to make some stilts or something. Yeah, going back to what Viper said, yeah, the strongest is very much subjective, and it's very much dependent on what exactly you are up against. Some servants will be better suited for some things rather than others. Like Chloe, for example, definitely not the strongest in a lot of content, but she sure as frick does a good job in Camelot. Oh, that's it. You're doing great. Check out my pretty legs. Tippy-toe, here I go. It's no to... it's situational. Gotcha. Fair enough. But how be things, then? How be things? Sitch and I can beat everything, but not beating everything well. I mean, just like MASH can beat everything, but it's not always going to be easy. I think it was a 40-plus turn She Who Shall Not Be Named kill, after all, for a solo. You know, if she was the best, she would have done it in one turn. Break bars be damned. Okay, guys, I finished that bamboo slide. Now you all form a nice, orderly line. Eee, look at the cons, they're adorable. Zoom! Watch me go! Come on, boss, join us. Me? I'll pass. I'm too old for that sort of thing now. Oh, I can just imagine these little fluff squish balls getting puppy dog eyes. It's adorable. Okay, fine, you win. Alright, come on then. Everyone wants to slide with me, get on my head. And go. That was more fun than I expected, but I can't land on my butt like I used to. I didn't even think about laying something soft out since I made it for the con. Maybe if I gather up a bit of grass? Want some help? What are you doing here? When did you get here? I brought him. The con said they knew a good rest spot, so, you know, figure why not. I see, they have been using this place as a playground for a while, so I can see why they'd want to bring people here sometimes. You think it's strange that I'd be here, don't you? I'm all hanging out with friends, nothing wrong with that. It's alright, I know it doesn't seem like the sort of thing I do. I understand that I'm usually blunt and surly. But you know, I actually really liked playing outside. That is, I used to back when I was still alive, I guess. Maybe that's what it is. There's something about this island and these innocent con that makes me want to cut loose and just be silly again. What's the least blunt way to say, you know, back before you led a rebellion and were executed? I think the first option is the least blunt way to say it. I had a job to do after we started the rebellion, protecting my precious sister. And just so we're absolutely clear, I was happy to do it. I was proud, in fact. I loved that everyone looked up to her, and I got to fight by her side. But then she became the king, just like everyone wanted. And then I could no longer live like the playful child I used to be. I understood my duties, and had no choice but to carry them out. It was my job to do what my sister, as king, couldn't. You know what I mean, right? I mean the kind of dirty jobs you wouldn't even want to talk about. The kind of awful things you could never let the kids hear about. Well, you shouldn't probably talk about them around the con. Please, no bully. Please. No bullying, please. That is a request. A pleading request. You can't see it, but I'm giving puppy dog eyes right now. Sister wasn't happy about it, but we both accepted it because we knew these things had to be done. Desperate times and all, but at some point I just forgot about playing. So I never imagined I'd play like this again, especially in a place like this. Well, here's the thing though, guys, is I'm probably gonna be streaming more often. And, your bully cannot be worse than the self-bullying I have been doing for myself. Yeah. Just a long story short, I screwed up on one of my simulations. It was with a professor that isn't normally the teacher, so I'm going to try and fight it. But there is a good chance that I might be getting kicked out of my program in school, and I will have to reapply. So, yeah. Suffice to say, there's no bullying you can do of me that is worse than the bullying I've been doing to myself. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna fight it. I'm gonna fight until I'm said that I cannot. I've said it many times, I'm gonna fight until I cannot fight anymore. I'm gonna try and fight for my right to stay in this program, to get one more shot at it. Because, I mean, everything is pretty much burned into my brain. I'm never gonna forget it now. It was just a lot of anxiety made me make simple mistakes. And, you know, I'm gonna try and fight, but if I can't, I mean, even if I can fight it, I am still gonna be streaming more regularly because I've realized that actually streaming and interacting with you all is such a good stress relief. Like, it's nice being able to interact with you all. I always said that I would do this to brighten all of your guys' days, but until I stopped streaming regularly, I didn't realize how much streaming and interacting with you all actually brightened my day and made my life less stressful. So, you know, I do appreciate you guys, even if you do bully occasionally and make fun of me by calling me a rooster, Infinity, if you're out there. But, I do appreciate you guys. It is nice to chat with you. So please, no bullying each other. That was weird. I didn't mean to tell you all that. Somewhat same? Glad you did, thanks. Your top 5 Vipers, top 5 is Ibuki, Eldorado, Jack, Astolfo, and Yume Lancer. Ooh, okay. You got you, Senpai. You got Jack, you got Astolfo. Not a bad lineup. Ibuki, I believe, is pretty potent as far as a Saber servant goes. And Jack is a very, very good quick assassin. Though I've got other quick units that are... I definitely use more. And I will admit that Jack is... I do have a little bit of bitterness with regards to Jack, given some of my history with rolls and Jack spooking me. That was a day. Gosh, how many years ago was that? How many years ago was that? J6, you're in the clips. How many years ago did I do... Was that King Hassan clip? So this isn't all that big a deal, right? Oh, but you'd better not go around telling everyone else how I was playing like a little kid or anything. You wouldn't dream of it? Well, good. Yeah, I feel a little bit bad for intruding on their playtime. Viper, that's something you gotta learn about Mordred. Mordred loves to mess with those that like Jack as a Daughteru. I wasn't too off-putting. I wouldn't have minded if he stayed. I mean, I wasn't about to go down the slide with him or anything, but there's nothing wrong with enjoying some sun together. Oh, well. Alright, now what should we play next? And you started... Okay, not too bad. So about almost a year and a half. That's not bad at all. So the Khan have led me here, What is this place? Who are you? I'm a Chaldean servant, technically. You didn't be afraid around me, girl. Man, they really do have a lot of people on their team, huh? So, what do you want with me? Nothing. I was merely doting on, that is relaxing with, no, observing the Khan and going with the flow, as they say. He accidentally said that. Yep, you have mentioned that before, Mordred. You have mentioned that before. One moment. What are these devices the Khan are playing with? They're very simply made, but events. What is events? I've never heard of that word. Did I just learn a new word?
Events.
Events. Yeah. Events is a verb, a formal verb. Ooh, fancy, fancy. So it reveals the presence of or indicates. So these simply made things reveal the presence of or indicate a rare sort of creativity. Events. A very fancy word that I'm probably not going to remember after today. They appear simultaneously terrifying and fun. How truly sublime. You mean the stilts? Oh, so those are stilts. I've heard of them before, but I've never seen them in person, I see. How delightful to see them toddle about on their little legs. And above all, they're the very highest of heels. They should serve as a most excellent inspiration for any contemplating a new creation. First, we must ensure they are safe. Fortunately, I am not presently occupied with any pressing tasks. I therefore give you permission to present me a pair as tribute. Is she asking me to build her a pair of stilts so she can try them out herself? Yes, Morgan is very indirect like that. A lot of people do rate Morgan fairly high up on the waifu scale. I don't think she's there just yet for me. We got a new free quest we can do, so we will do this one. Looks like it is a 5 and 3-star currency. So we'll go to my farming squad, and away we go. Does not look like this is one of the best nodes, though. Was that what? No. Okay, yeah. It was about with that. I mean, they're both berserkers. Both of them do consider you their spouse. Both of them probably would like you to get rid of all other competition. I mean, there are some you gotta admit, there are some similarities there. There are some similarities. Does Morgan not have a bond line that says that you should get rid of all of other berserkers, for you only need her? That was like 2 months ago, man. I honestly can't remember. Oh, that's something different. Okay. But I do recall that her Valentine was sort of a collaborative effort of all of her knights. She called upon them to help her with her Valentine's present. I did also see it was somewhat a crackpot theory Reddit post on the Grand Order subreddit that essentially says that Morgan is a hot mess. But an adorable hot mess. Let's see. Sort by new. Sith hits different. Also, the same person apparently said something about Melusine creating a time paradox in order to become our one true waifu. That's something I get. It was a read. It was a read. That Melusine created a literal time paradox. Or something like that. But yeah, I mean, all of the Fairy Knights have interesting stories, I would say. I definitely will say that going in, like, at the start of Lost Belt 6, I was definitely more supportive of Barghest, but as the story went on, it definitely, I did grow to care for all of them. But we got a fruit, and I didn't even see what else I got as far as drops go, so... Whee! Section 10, Mount of Doom! Excuse me, no battles. I mean, I wouldn't say I can relate to Barghest, is in so much as I very much pity Barghest, and that Barghest definitely deserves the happiness that Chaldea can offer. I mean, realistically speaking, pretty much all of the Fairy Knights are pitiable. You ain't got no time to read? Fair enough, J6. Fair enough. Alright, I think we're finally ready to begin our attack on the third area. And now the Khan are fully equipped with both weapons and armor. Whatever water monsters we face there should pose no threat to us at all. I like your spirit, little girl. To be young again. Wait, hang on. How do you have no time to read? Do you just watch other people play the story then? Out of curiosity, J6? Or do you already know what the story is? Because that'd be something. I'm a beautiful and vivacious... I'm not gonna fully say that sentence. Treat me like a child, I will teach you more about pain than you ever wanted to know. This isn't the time to let our guard down. There's no telling what we might come up against next. The goddess is right. We made excellent progress, but we still need to be careful. You know, because you played through it in GP. That's fair. I mean, if you already know, then you're essentially just missing how it's translated to us. I mean, yeah, Barghest did have the easiest time of them because she was forced to live in an illusion. But when that illusion shattered, though... When that illusion finally shattered, that was tragic. Viper, you lost 2 other times. On Bar, you were peed off. Fair. It was a short-lived loss. True. Very true, Margaret. Very true. But still, that does deserve my pity. And I do not know what you're talking about with regards to this ordeal call business, J6. Is that part 3, essentially? Is ordeal call part 3? So what are the enemies in this next area like? Luckily, they're easy to describe. Basically, water horses. Water horses, huh? Selkies, I think, is what these are called, technically. Well, oh my, I thought that was a figure of speech or something. Water monster that looks like a horse, huh? There were several potential matches in the database, but most of the likely match was the Kelpie! Dang it, I was close! I was close! You did pull MP2, Bark, and Oberon. Nice, congrats on getting Oberon. Yeah, poor Mort. The whole of Lost Belt Britain was a tragedy. But I am probably going to be picking Barghest for my free 4-star, because I guess we're getting a free SR ticket here coming up soon. And Barghest is likely going to be my pick, so then I will have all of the Fairy Knights in my Chaldea. The Kelpie is a water spirit, known primarily from the Scottish folklore. While it usually resembles a horse, it can also apparently transform into a bird. Nope, still do not have Barghest. From what I read, it's a terrifying being that drowns and devours any human who gets too close to it. Anything else we should know about it? Like, if, say, it runs really fast or something, then we'll need to make sure it doesn't escape. Huh? Hey! No, come back, Khan! I want to ride it. What, the con got eaten just by getting on that thing's back? Oh no, all of you stop, please. No, the con! There's... Oh, good. Good job, Lambda. Good job. Save that con. What do you think you're doing? You should only have eyes for your... You should have eyes only for your star. So cool. Must ride. Pretty horsey. You're on the Honkai grind, J6? That's fair. And hey, who knows, I might be getting on that grind myself. Depending on how much free time I have, because if worse comes to worse, I don't plan on being fully idle. This is going to sound cringe, but I'm debating trying to write a creative novel and publish it chapter by chapter and have a Patreon where people can donate. I'm debating doing that. There's a website called Scribble Hub, and it is huge as far as creative novels goes. I'd probably be getting into the literary RPG genre. Honestly, nope. Scribble Hub is the one I've been reading a lot of stories on. And there's a lot of good ones on there, to be honest. Like, it's amazing what kind of creative stories people comes up with. And I kind of want to throw my hat in the ring with that as well. True. That's why I said I'd start writing a story, and if it does start to take off is when I would make a Patreon, essentially. You know? I've got ideas working up in my brain space here. I'd go with the stereotypical lit RPG genre, which has a lot of competition, but that just means that a lot of people like it. What's going on? It's as if the con are being sucked towards them, like they've been charmed or something. Not necessarily isekai, actually. Lit RPG is just a world with a video game-esque system. And I'm debating, because I do have two ideas. One of them would be an isekai, one of them wouldn't be. I'm sort of just, you know, I'm holding off. I'm holding hope still. That's how these wicked kelpies operate. They lure people into getting on their backs to ride them, then drag them into the water and drown them. Not only that, it's also said that once you've touched or gotten on a kelpie, you can never get away from them again. They're luring the con in. Maybe it's a pheromone thing. Whatever it is, at least it's not working on us or Soul. Maybe the con just aren't able to resist or are being actively targeted. I don't know, but right now... What are you waiting for, torturers? Get to work. Grab hold of any con heading for those horses and don't let them go, no matter what. Go, my Leviathans. Form a wall and hold them back. Can't possibly fight them like this. Right, if the con can't fight, there's no way for us to liberate this area. Let's fall back and regroup for now. Yeah, that's another thing. There is a lot of fanfiction on that site too, though. But I'm primarily focused on the lit RPG genre. Granted, there's only really 2 so far that I've read that have been interesting, and one of them is even completed. And they're both by the same author. So... You know, guy's a good author, that's all I can really say. I'm eagerly anticipating his 3rd work. We're so ashamed. We heard you say stop, but the horses were so cool. We just had to ride them, that's all. I had the same thought when we were building the defensive network, but the con really do love rides, don't they? Oh yeah, I mean, the one that I did read is sort of a... I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like a wuxia, W-U-I-X-A, or wuxia. I don't know how that's pronounced, but it was that genre of novel. You need to build a team for fighting people in real life or in a game. Yes, that. I don't know how to pronounce it. Yeah, that was the one, and I mean, As far as the lit RPG genre goes, the one that I'm actively reading is the third highest rated of all of them. So, NSV, gotcha. I need to get back to Pokemon. I do need to get back to it. Maybe that's why the Kelpie got them so easily. They like stilts, too. Oh, indeed, they used to ride my shell all the time. But I guess they stopped once they had so many other rides to choose from. Yep, it was a martial arts-based story, essentially. Though it got very much, I'm reading The Runesmith. And I had previously read the same author's work, Unfathomable Senior. Yeah, The Runesmith is the one I'm actively reading. 1.28 million words. So, yeah, it's pretty big. But I'd say it's pretty damn good. And it's given me a lot of ideas for, if I do manage my own, how I'm going to incorporate it. What a shame. I kind of miss those days. I'm guessing your shell is a lot like their family home elder. And if it is, then it must be a special place they know they can always come back to. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, Mordred. Nothing wrong with killing a lot of your characters. As long as you don't do it too often where people are just wondering, oh man, new character introduced, they're gonna die in such and such way. At least that's how I feel would be the way to do it. At any rate, all we know now is there's something about the Kelpie that makes the Khan want to ride them. And the instant they do, they're eaten. In fact, their entire bodies were absorbed at once, so the armor didn't make a difference. Is there anything we can do to prevent that? We could tie them up to make sure they do not move, but of course they still need to be able to fight. There is no point bringing the Khan along if they can't deal the final blow. Why don't we just ask them what they think? Maybe they can give us a hint as to what could help them resist the Kelpie's temptations. For example, if it's a smell luring them in, then maybe we could just cover their noses. You can't even have noses. It was just an example. Get on sister's level, not that you'll ever get as close to it as I am. Maybe we wouldn't ride the horses anymore if there was something cooler to ride instead. Yeah, cooler rides. The coolest rides. We're pros after all. A cooler ride, huh? We don't care how fast it is. Looks are all that matter. Let me make sure I've got this straight. You're saying you want something you can just sit on and relax, like one of those coin-operated kitty panda rides. Get a situation, think test, possible, let's see if they survive. So, in other words, Mordred, it sounds like you would be a great dungeon master for any kind of role-playing game. Any kind of tabletop role-playing game. You would be an excellent dungeon master. And you're also saying that if this thing looks cool enough, then you won't be tempted to ride the Kelpie. Exactly. Let's do it. For I knew it would come down to something like this. We cannot go with actual panda. Now when the thing they need to sit on needs to look cool. The fact that it has character for cat in its name alone means it's out of the question. You'll need to come up with something better. Something cool for them to ride. That's a surprisingly tough one. The answer is clear and unchanging, like a brilliant shadow that falls across your closed eyes. Why should that all be at all difficult? If the speed of this ride is unimportant, then all you need to worry about is its form. And if a cool ride is what you require, we already have one, right here. The deep crimson silhouette that captures your gaze and sets your heart ablaze with desire. The vehicle none can help but covet, that all dream of driving. But that dream must always die when the dreamer leaps of the crippling expenses of the fuel its high-performance engine demands. A phantom thief may simply steal what she wants, but I am not sure that's an option for you. Does that not make this the perfect opportunity to enjoy a car of superlative beauty? Supercar, huh? That's awesome. Supercar? But we can't have them pushing it around themselves, right? We'd make it real, but small-scale supercar. You cannot have a supercar that isn't super fast, can you? plot armor, but not invincible plot armor. That's fair. Invincible plot armor is definitely not a fun. An overpowered protagonist that has no chance of losing is never a good time. Why would Carmilla traumatize the hawk? So with that in mind, what could be safer than a bull? I have to agree, and there's one bull in particular whose easygoing nature is downright divine. Master, you know about the holy bull Nandi, right? I don't think we could get the real one for this, but we could certainly make an imitation mechanical bull. And I don't mean those dangerous carnival rides. Mechanical bull? What are some other cool rides, though? Oh, man. If this could get Gilgamesh to interact with the Khan. Oh, that'd be glorious. True, there's basically invincible protags on a lot of novels. That's fair. A lot of people do enjoy it, but a lot of people do find plot armor that thick to be a little bit boring. So I don't know. Like I said, I've got some ideas stewing in my brain space. Sure. Sure thing, J6. Mysterious flying rides? Sounds like the Khan are interested in all of these. Okay, Master, let's get them the coolest looking ride we possibly can. Something so amazing, they won't even be tempted to look the Kelpie's way. I think I've got to go the flying rides. I'm not sure if I can watch that on stream, so I'm going to have to watch that later, J6. But yeah, we're going to be going for the flying rides to see what kind of, who comes along. Please tell me Gilgamesh comes. How in the world does it fly? It's so mysterious. It's scary. Gilgamesh. 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 Let's see him. I want to see him interact with the Khans. Please. Oh yeah, that's adorable in and of itself. Good gracious, what am I making? It matches so well with the aesthetic. How am I making such a synergistic aesthetic with these Khan? Wow, this is just way too cool. I'm not sure if I should be asking this or not, but what exactly is that? Vamana. You'll probably make one of my protags one such character, give them 0 motivation, everyone who messes with that character will die. So just somebody who wants to be left alone. An overpowered character that just wants to be left alone, but keeps getting dragged into shit. And what's a Vamana? It's some kind of airplane. I don't really know either what it is. Somebody's right. We're not trying to be funny. All I can tell you is that's a Vamana. So how are you able to make so many of those if you don't even know what they are? Speaking as one of its designers, we're just copying its shape and overall feel. It's nothing like the genuine article, either in size or mechanics or how it moves. Of course, I would have liked to fully understand it before miniaturizing it. We do know who owns the real thing and where to find him. But... oh, what is Gil gonna say? What is Gil gonna say? Please. Come on, let me see it. Please. Pretty please. Aw, we don't actually get dialogue? Well, he wouldn't budge even after I hit him with one of my cutest smiles. I'm not surprised. Everything in the treasury is King Gilgamesh's, after all. Well, even so, it's amazing you could build something so mysterious. You think? Thanks. Since it was kind of a rush job, I didn't make it all by myself. I brought in some other servants who seemed like they'd be interested in helping me. Who helped make it? Moriarty, Tesla. The professor ended up dropping out along the way. What happened? Well, he went off on his own, even though I warned him against it. Please. Oh no! There's a difference, Moriarty! There's a difference! Poor Moriarty. And we haven't seen him since. Apparently he tried to run away from Gilgamesh's enema leash and threw out his back, so he needs some time to recover. But enough about that. The point is, we somehow managed to get them all done. Incidentally, these mini Vimana's power transmission and such are trade secrets. I don't even know how different they are from the original. All I can say is that they're absolutely packed with incredible technology. I have no idea how it works. It sure is awesome, though. Exactly, that's what really counts. Well, we should reach our destination soon. Let's hope this plan worked. This mysterious flying object really is mysterious. In the lonely reaches of space, you can only count on yourself. So cool. Man, speaking of cool, I do think that, one thing that I'm definitely going to be streaming come July is Frostpunk 2. Just random tangent. But I'm just giving the heads up. Come July, Frostpunk 2 is going to be streamed. So cool. They're riding around the Kelpie looking smucker than I thought possible. They definitely don't seem tempted by the Kelpie in the slightest anymore. Come July, I'm going to stream Frostpunk 2. Because I played Frostpunk 1, liked it a lot, and Frostpunk 2 is releasing in July, but there is an early access beta available right now. And yeah, definitely thinking I'm going to be streaming Frostpunk 2 come July. Frostpunk in and of itself was sort of a city building survival game where you had to prepare your city against the inevitable great storm that had the potential to wipe it all out. You had to manage resources and a bunch of stuff. It's a very fun game. Very story-driven as well. Sweet, just like I hoped for. Just to be clear, these things are about as mobile as a balloon. Maneuverability isn't exactly one of their strengths. They can't ascend any higher either, which means it'll be hard for them to fight in those things. Well, at least they should still be able to deal the final blow while riding them. So now that we know the Connor's safe, our job is the same as it was before. Indeed, keep an eye on them to make sure they do not inadvertently end up on the horse's back and send them back where they came. You found an Alpha Shiny Machamp. Nice, congrats, J6. But Zahak, for that would say if you have some ideas about your story already, I would say you should start by fleshing out the world build so you don't run in. Yeah, why did you say Zahak? Mordred. Why did you call me Zahak? Oh no. Mordred, did you forget whose stream you were in because there was some Jack bullying earlier on? Or bullying somebody who cares for Jack like a Dotaru? Section 11, The Battle to Reclaim, Area 3. And this looks to be another 4-star currency. The only one. So clearly because Draconic Dragon. You found a way to get Shaman and Darkrai Legends, and it's called Going to a Library. Wait, does your library have games that can be rented? Oh, Social Battery. That's fair. That's fair. Killing Social Battery would do it. This Kelpie is confused. Of course it is. Let's go for a Buster Blast. So you just made some trades, essentially. That's fair. Bad Kelpie. Bad. I should have done this earlier. And then... doop bap deep. Main problem with stories is just too fixated on the protagonist. So yeah, you essentially want the story to branch out to beyond just... Okay, can this Kelpie stop bullying my Lambda? Please. Do Doubt Deep. You just want some proper world building done first. Or you want some proper world building to be there as well as essentially for some stuff to be going on in the background. Can I get a Lambda NP off? Yeah. I can get a Lambda MP off. You want the side characters to have a life outside of the protagonist. I mean, that is... One of them will be that. One of them will have supporting characters that will essentially journey with the protagonist and at times even have their own adventures. So that is a plan. Let's throw another turn of invents on Lambda. And it will be the isekai one. So multiple POVs, yep. That's understandable. Just having one POV, I mean, can lead to a bit of a skewed point of view on things. A choppy neigh. Hey, Zahak! We were talking about you earlier. Not too long ago, Mordred accidentally confused me for you. Oh boy, hang on. I gotta... Where is it? Bye! That was a spam bot. And spam bots, no more. What was I doing? I was pressing buttons. I do not know what buttons I was pressing. These are the buttons I was pressing. No! J6. Resist the link. Yeah, I was about to say something, Mordred, but he did not react. It's interesting that Zahak has not reacted to your statement. I was going to say something, but... I think it might have... Yeah, actually, it might have been pushed off by the spam bot, Mordred. Looking at the order of how chat came in, I think the spam bot coming in pushed it to the top of the queue. Because it was 2 messages before the spam bot is when you said that. So I think it was just... Your message was lost to the ether. But how be things, Zahak? How be things? Also, this Kelpie is kicking ass! Bye-bye, Kelpie. Jakester is not here, Zahak. There you go, he caught it! We gained a new place where we can all go crazy. Did we, though? We didn't, though. Maybe after this. Section 11. You got a PC for now? Woo! Congrats on that. With the third area freed, the Chaldeans thought it best to rest while they could. So let's take this opportunity to review what we know about this island's key figures. This serves no greater purpose, and I have no intention of sharing it with anyone. It is merely a mental exercise. Besides, it's not as if there's anything better to do right now. Make work like this is the best way to pass time. We know these creatures as Khan. While they do have some quirks, it remains challenging to differentiate them, and consequently, they are not given individual names. Some, though not many, of them do exhibit identifiable individual traits and differences. Lambdas, Khan, friend. The Khan exhibit fairly high intelligence and language comprehension, but seem to have significant gaps in their knowledge. That being said, it seems safe to assume that almost all the Khan understand this current situation. From that, we can infer that they are disseminating their knowledge among themselves in some manner. We do not know, however, whether this is intentional or not. If it is unintentional, that would suggest the Khan have a sort of collective unconsciousness. I wonder if this is a clue to their true nature as a species, but let's put that theory aside for now. With regard to personality, they exhibit minute individual differences. Generally speaking, the Khan are gentle, curious, and unassuming. Their favorite activities are sunbathing and play of all sorts. Their least favorite thing is being eaten, I assume. Now, this sets them apart from any other living things. They're not in any way aggressive, but they still are willing to fight to protect themselves. But that, too, could be said of many living things. Now, from a physical perspective... Alright, any Khan who is eaten by a water monster will revive if another Khan kills that water monster. I'm not sure whether that Khan's own individual identity is preserved, and I cannot see any way of finding out. On an unrelated note, it seems that, at least on this island, new Khan manifest spontaneously. They seem to simply spring up from the ground. Of course, there are countless permutations of elementals, as they are the planet's sensory organs, so such manifestations aren't entirely unthinkable. But my instinct tells me these creatures are neither elementals nor fairies. For example, they could be connected to a subterranean plant. Maybe they're even some kind of fungus. I've spent a fair amount of time interacting with them now, but I'm no closer to an answer. I may be able to get there if I were to build a real workshop and employ every ritual and spell I know, but at the moment I don't have the drive. Morgan speaking. Doing so would be akin to forcing the answer to a riddle from its teller with mystic eyes. Fine, let's discuss their physical properties. Oh, thank you, Zahak. It's been a while since I booted up this document. Oh, I skipped. Finally, let's discuss their physical properties. The Khan are soft to the touch, but with quite an unusual texture and consistency. They are reminiscent of very springy meat. While their movement generally tends toward the slow and unhurried, they demonstrate keen agility where necessary. Despite their short, stubby limbs, they are able to capably use all manner of tools. Their astonishing capacity for learning new things is another indication they may operate on a collective unconsciousness. So, +2 to Koyan. Which Koyan... Hang on. First, before you hit Zahak, which Koyan are you... You guys... I have 2 Koyans. You need to specify which Koyan you guys are giving pluses to, and which ones you guys are giving minuses to. It does, because one of them is already at -6, and one of them is at -3 right now. Ah, this tactile sensation, this weight. While I understand they do exist here, the matter of their actual composition is unclear. So, Koyan of the Light is at -1 now. Zahak, who are you minusing 3 to? Elementals, fauna, lifeforms, concepts, sentience, species, legends, ideals, thoughts. I think you only did 2, Zahak. Yeah, you've only done 2 so far. Just as a heads up. Okay, and that's minus 3 to... So minus 3 to Raiko. That brings her down a little bit. I'm not saying offended. Zahak still didn't do the third one. I did not call you Zahak, J6. You can only spend... See, that's the thing though, Mordred. I limit it to 3 at a time. Specifically for this reason. So if you want her to go down lower, you're gonna have to come to future streams. That's how I get ya. Hang on. I'm moving stuff. Stop. This is very touchy with... Okay, there we go. The Bunny Fox is now at rank 73, so there are 72 servants in front of Koyanskaya getting ranked up. Yay! I am, for reasons I cannot describe, certain about one thing. If I were to... I'm sorry. Okay, 6-letter word. So, it's not the 4-letter word, at least, but I hope that's not murder. I hope that blanked out word is not murder, because murder would fit in a 6-letter blank. Please don't write a bot. Because it wouldn't be the same, Mordred. It wouldn't be the same without you here offering your feedback, roasting me, and other such stuff. In fact, you're going to be able to roast me in a couple months, since Elden Ring DLC will be coming out in a couple months, and I'm probably going to be dying a lot in it. So yeah, you guys will get to see me die again and 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 again. What does that mean? There's no mistaking it, I suppose. From the con themselves, I sense a vague ominousness. An ominousness which, paradoxically, is free of evil. I'm sorry, J6, if I screwed up. I do apologize. I'm only a sentient being. I make mistakes. In fact, this whole world gives me a similar sense. Yep. Yeah, I already took down Light by 3. Yep, back down she goes. I feel like I've been told about the game of Sisyphus before, but I cannot recall much about the game of Sisyphus. If you could please do so, remind me. We are being misled. There's something fundamental we are overlooking. That, at least, is the impression I have. But at the present moment, petting the con is more important. Quite frankly. It's a little addictive. J6 likes Tiamat and Goetia, but not Koyan. Which is fair. We all have our likes and dislikes. Excuse me. Did we unlock a new thing? We did indeed unlock a new thing. So this is still not a single currency. But we're still going to run it all the same. It's a 3 and 4 star currency though, so we can swap out this for that. And this should be fine. I think he's doing it to troll me. Yep, there. See, he's doing it to troll me specifically. Which is fair. Yeah, Bunny Toria does have his disdain. And that is why she is at the very bottom of the list. Because J6 made a concentrated effort to get her there. But I definitely do need to do a level up again soon, which at this current point will probably be Karna. Looks like Karna is probably going to be the next contestant on the level up train. Oh gosh, that just looks a pain, Mordred. Hang on, I'm muting this tab and I'm gonna watch the trailer while I let this run its course. Is it literally just pushing a boulder up a hill? I'm getting some distinct Bennett Foddy or a game about climbing vibes here. It's one of those rage games. Except this one doesn't look like there's any safe spots that are breaks. Good gracious. This would be so frustrating. Mainly because I know me, and I would not stop until I finished. Like I said, it does look worse just because there's no safe spots. Unlike Bennett Foddy and a game about climbing, which do have some safe spots, this one does not look like it has a single one. This one looks like torture. New streamer fad just dropped. Just looking at some of the comments here. 9 hours. Good gracious. That just tells me how long it would take to beat it. It's definitely been added to my considerations here. It's definitely now in my list of things to look into if I want to suffer and punish myself. Look at them, they're adorable. There are so many here that even my poor forgotten back has become a prime hangout spot. It does feel like they're taking all the sunlight for themselves, though. You went to sleep before the end of it. You'd probably be going to sleep before the end of it for me, too, in that case, because depending on how long it is, it would probably take me a long while to beat it. So many con return now that we've recovered over half the island. It's almost like both a blessing and a curse. Come to think of it, it kind of feels like I'm forgetting something. Where's lunch again? Says while munching on some grass under his flippers. And I don't want to get too in-depth in a game when I know the original Fate Stay Night is coming to Steam. Like I knew it would eventually. I knew Fate Stay Night would eventually come to Steam, and I was right. So I will fulfill that long ago made promise of streaming me playing through the visual novel. Yes. When exactly? You'd have to give me a minute on that. I do know that the original visual novel is coming to Steam. Let's see here. FSN Steam. Let's see. So, trailer from the official Type Moon YouTube channel. They announced it 2 months ago, coming soon in 2024. It is the Rialta Nua version. Yes, it is the Rialta Nua variant. I was just saying, yes, it's the Rialta Nua version because that's what you said, and I just read the description. Remastered and multilingual, per the trailer. Seek the root of the Fate franchise, return to where it all began. It's also coming to the Switch. Nintendo Switch and Steam. So yeah, it's gonna be censored, because I don't think they would let something uncensored end up on the Switch. Nintendo's kind of, you know, strict about that. How are we sure this turtle isn't going to just drop dead on us? Of course, I would like to take good care of him, since turtles are lucky creatures, but still. That's what it says. It's really nice to have a young girl caring for you, especially at my age. That's right, there was another girl who smiled kindly at me before she gave me a message to pass on. Oh, I remember now. Those sisters were looking for you. Seems they have a favor to ask. Why didn't you say so sooner? You deleted your fate. How do you delete your fate? As I'm sure you've all seen for yourselves, we now have more con than we do homes. So we're thinking it's time to expand the base again. But given the topography here, we thought it would be better to make it a full-blown floating residential area. So you'd like us to build more buildings again? Absolutely. Easy for you to say. I'm the one who has to gather the materials and oversee the construction, you know. I know, and I have absolute confidence in your abilities. Just tell us what you need, forewoman, and we'll get it all done. Very well. Now that I'm on this boat, so to speak, I suppose there's no abandoning ship now. I still wish Amakusa could have been brought along. He should have been dragged here. I specifically chose the option so Amakusa would have to come here, so he and Semiramis could interact. But he just didn't come. Yeah, it was pretty funny. When I first saw it, it was a good chuckle, good laugh. I'm imagining that if we can get Penthesilea with glasses and a tie, we can get Semiramis with a construction hat. So what kind of floating residences did you have in mind? All we can really come up with on our own are more simple structures that the village already has. So this time we'd like to hear all your ideas. Did someone mention boats? What if you made a giant boat everyone could live on? I think that would be lovely. What do you call those again? Cruise ships? Hold it, hold it. If you're gonna make a big houseboat, then it's gotta be a Japanese-style houseboat. We can have a big party with Takechiyo's favorite sea bream tempura in the tatami room and have a rockin' Atsumori time with drinking and karaoke. While we're at it, I'd also love to catch a cormorant fishing show. Talk about a dream come true. Ha ha ha. Are you sure that's a good idea, Nobu? If you Hanoji your houseboat, you know there won't be anywhere to run, right? Not that you managed last time. That's why we make it armor-plated houseboat. See? This is why I was so ahead of my time, especially as a daimyo. Besides, if the boat catches fire, there'd be plenty of places I could escape to. Just gotta dive into the water. I don't have ideas for a floating residence, but you could just have... You know how they have astronauts train underwater for space missions? Well, water is part of the universe, and the universe is moderately outer space, so what about a space house? You know, like a colony ship. Just build it with powerful enough thrusters, and you'll be all set even if the planet explodes. Man, we just can't keep any other servants from popping in their ideas, huh? Still, our ultimate goal here is to create them more housing. And since we'd probably just be copying the outward appearance of whatever we go with like usual, with the differences being purely aesthetic, I think you can just go ahead and pick whichever one you like. Well, I'm pretty sure I've got a theme going here. A futuristic theme. You know, with the pinion, the power armor, the train, the flying ships. So I think a colony ship I can't make. I'm close to being able to make it, though. There is a mine here. Can this mine drop the... It can and will drop the cons I need. Okay, we might be able to do this yet. We might be able to do this yet. So, go you. It's gonna be a little tough doing this with Lambda, but I don't care. Yep, we might be able to pull this off. It might be the last one we can pull off, though, is the only issue I can foresee. Because I don't want to burn my apples yet. An apartment? That's lame, though, J6. That's what the modern era does. You need a cruise ship, an ancient-style ship, or a spaceship, you know? And spaceship is just cooler. I know, but I don't like farming on stream. Would have been the better way to put things. So if I do end up farming, it'll be off-stream farming. Doop, dap, deep. All the options are boring? I don't know, I think a spaceship is fairly on theme. There's definitely a theme bonus going on here. Like, I could have gone Katana, Ushiwaka, Maru's armor, I don't remember what the other options for the Great Wall. I could have gone Great Wall instead of the train. And I guess the vehicle would have been the main outlier as far as theming goes. Because it was Vimana, a bowl, and a car. A sports car at that. So I guess you couldn't be fully on theme. Could have been close. Cave Guide Intuition. It's a Stolfo. Let's do something like this. Graveyard. Who lives in a graveyard, J6? And a tentacle monster that is able to live in space. That just sounds complicated, man. Becoming a tentacle monster is just too complicated a process. Plus, if the Khan became tentacle monsters, they would not be squishy and adorable. So, that's why we can't do that. Gray, that is a fair point. Gray does indeed live in a cemetery. / graveyard. That is a fair point there, J6. Come on, Lambda. beat Astolfo down. Gray, you know. Waver's apprentice. The saber face, that's an assassin who uses a scythe. Really? You don't know? Did you never watch the El Malloy Case Files? Or play the El Malloy Case Files event? Gray isn't related to Artoria. Gray was created by Morgan to become Artoria. I think I just have enough to make this space. I just have enough to make this colony ship. Okay. Good. The blue galaxy looming. What about Mordred, J6? Do you know about Mordred? This is your basic bedroom. It's very clean and simple and has excellent G-force dampening. What about Gawain? So this whole ship is made out of steel, huh? I can't even begin to imagine how this technology works. The floating con is adorable. And this is the hallway. It's wide enough that you can have two Professor Babagins walk shoulder to shoulder while they're literally blowing off steam. Well, I guess they'd probably bang into each other, since the steam would mean they can't actually see. Who are you talking about? The Khan's just floating along is adorable. And that's not all. I had them build this cockpit to complete the whole colony ship package. The console's purely aesthetic right now, so it doesn't actually work as a spaceship, but I also made sure it could be expanded. What about Uther Pendragon, J6? Let's just say I'm looking forward to the next season. The window? That's just a space wallpaper. What is it? Is there something behind me? Oh, did you try to trick me, you little rascal? There's obviously nothing here. An anti-gravity device? No, I'm afraid the ship doesn't have one of those yet, either. They're really expensive. So how are the Khan floating around like this? We just felt like floating. Wow, that would be nice. Man, I just feel like floating and I start floating. That'd be an amazing skill to have. I think we might fit really well in outer space. I don't know what the deal with these things is. Maybe they're from the far reaches of the Servant-Verse somewhere. I could see them being aliens from some undiscovered planet. Maybe they're the descendants of a race that escaped an ancient star system before it exploded or something. Anyway, don't worry. I don't have any problems with them hanging around as long as they're not sabers. Well, I mean, what about Bunnytoria? J6, do you know who Bunnytoria is? See, that's the thing. Yes. Technically, yes, because she's a heroic spirit, so all heroic spirits are technically dead. Well done. Well done. Wow, way to go, X. You're really genius at bringing in properties from who knows where. You may have been way on the nose with your theme, but you still did a good job with the whole colony ship thing. I agree, we don't have to worry anymore about the rain in here at all. The Khans seem to like it a lot, too. Thank you so much, everyone. You really do seem like they're spacewalking. You removed her. Okay. What about Artoria Lily? What is your opinions on Artoria Lily, J6? Section 13. Seaside Singing Invitation to Eternity. Her signature move is Excaliblasting dudes in the crotch. So how does that make you feel? Once we solved the con housing problem, we decided to move on to the 4th area. This is so adorable. The con, finally outfitted with quality weapons, durable armor, and vehicles that just kept them in high spirits, seemed confident in their ability to tackle whatever came next. Even with the reports of yet another unfamiliar water monster in the next area, we couldn't let our fears get the better of us. And so they set out to execute the plan, keeping vigilant and trusting their experience up to that point. However, I do hate turning tail and running away. Still, at least we did not suffer too many casualties, which makes this more of a strategic retreat. It's not about the casualty count, Empress. The fact that there were casualties at all is something we need to reflect on. Was it that bad? We couldn't do anything except run for it. Unfortunately, the next enemy's bad news too. I had the same thought when we faced the Kelpie, but looks like psychological attacks are the con's weakness. True, it does seem like they're too trusting for their own good sometimes. Yes, I think so too. The con were instantly trapped in the enemy's tempo and helpless to break free. Some time ago. Those must be new water monsters. They really do look like human women. Sirens, then. They spotted us. Watch out for... Are they singing? That's not all. Look! They're dancing, making their water bodies ripple and sway. He might have stopped existing too. You might have given him an existential crisis there, Mordred. This isn't just random movements. It looks like a dance, and they're doing it on purpose. I can tell. They're keeping to a rhythm and are conscious of every move they make, all the way down to the tips of their fingers. They're using their bodies' undefined forms to move about freely, calculating every move, even any droplets that may splash. Oh, that's beautiful. Pretty voice. Not again. Get back here. I don't know what's going on here, but I'm loving the show. I'm going to watch up close. No, Richard's been sucked into the water too, and after she came here to help without being asked. She calls that helping. They've got some of the con too. This is just like what happened to the Kelpie. Looks like we got no choice but to retreat. I feel like we are going to be seeing Liz arrive here soon. Can't believe they managed to lure even me in with their singing and dancing. Those creatures are as cunning as Indra. I think it's more like you're just really, really vulnerable to that kind of temptation. Looks like it's up to me to fill you in again. Those monsters you saw today were probably Rusalki. Their legend says they use singing and dancing to lure people in and pull them underwater. Some people think a Rusalka is a VOD wife, but nobody knows for sure. I honestly don't care. Rusalka. They're from the same Eastern European region as Vodyanoi. I wonder if that means anything. Nah, probably not. I feel like it's almost time for me to be ending this stream, too, because I think I'm not going to have materials to be able to build whatever this next building is. But thanks anyways for stopping by, Mordred. It was a fun chatting with you, and I hope to see you again on Wednesday, because I am going to be streaming more consistently now. Hey, you're alright. That's a relief. It was close. I was almost lunch. But I've already seen Lamb Lamp. You're better than any monster. Is that so? I'm flattered. Wait, hold on. Does this mean if the con knew about other kinds of art and entertainment, they wouldn't be drawn to their sulky singing and dancing anymore? Sure thing, Mordred. Can do. Sounds like it. We just got a great hint. We're going to have to bolster the con's resistance to the Rusalki singing and dancing, just like we did with the Kelpie's cool factor. And to do that, I think we'll have to give them a little culture. Like my watertop ballet. That's a good idea and all, but there are too many con here for even me to give a solid cultural education alone. Even if I could, I wouldn't want to cheapen my art with too many repeat performances. My rule is only one show a day. Well, then I think we'll have to build some kind of cultural arts center. That sounds fine to me, but exactly what sort of facility should we build? Hahaha. So you wish to create a building to teach ignorant masses the glory of true entertainment? Welcome back, J6. Had to go kill something? That's fair. In a sense, that is exactly what I dedicated my entire reign to achieving. I speak, of course, of an arcade, yes? I'm certain that must be it. What better represents modern entertainment than a center for games of the video? Don't forget about VR and MMO RPGs. You can't forget about everything in those worlds. Reality, your weight, deadlines. No, I'm speaking of the theater, of course. Now do not interrupt me again. Only in the theater can patrons enjoy singing, poetry, stage plays, concerts, and so much more. That is why a golden theater must be made by and for me is the only possible choice. Oh gosh. It might be presumptuous of me to suggest this, but I don't think any discussion of entertainment or culture would be complete without books and reading. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, it might be really nice to have a library. Games, books, song, and dance, huh? I can tell all these sound like fun. I think the con will probably enjoy all those. They've always loved playing. So just choose whichever one you prefer. It's gonna have to be the arcade. I cannot ignore the allure of video games. Much as I love a good book, video games. And I don't have the cons for it. I am short on some cons. Luckily, it does seem like the turtle mine does drop those cons, so I guess that is what I'm going to be farming in between now and Wednesday. So for now, I think I'm going to call this stream here. I have been Soul Rack Dragon. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. If you have, leave me some feedback in whichever way you so see fit. If you want to check out more by me, be sure to check out my channel here on Twitch or YouTube. I will eventually be posting to there again. Yeah, but once again, thank you all so much for coming out. Hope you enjoyed. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.